Hello, everybody. All right, turn that down. All right, so Sophie Cunningham, I'm told, is playing. I know my sound is. So that's good. I don't know if she's starting. I just know she's playing.
It's game day in the A as the Green. Welcome in Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, who are looking for some get back after dropping their previous game back on Tuesday against the Dream. Caitlin Clark has created some history to start the season, and on the other side, for Atlanta, the new acquisition in free agency, who has done it all in her career. Brittany Griner creating some history of her own and trying to get back-to-back wins here against Indiana as they're playing on a special floor. As a gentle reminder to those to pay some respect.
Sophie, I saw Mick put out a video, and he said she's playing.
Let's go back to the first game where we saw some history that was made, starting with Brittany Griner, who moved in the league's top 20 in total rebounds. I mean, she added the rebounds, but she also led the team in scoring, and she wanted the basketball in crunch time. She's just a stabilizing presence. She's the calm on the bench when they really need it. She baited the Fever into the fouling. Got to the free throw line 6 times, but she's got to be careful because she herself fouled out in that game. She's got to be disciplined and avoid those ticky-tack fouls. And then Ryan Howard made history on moving 5th all-time in franchise scoring, and she really ignited this Dream team in the second half when she hit back-to-back threes. Her aggressiveness kept the Fever on their heels, and her shooting percentages aren't where she wants them to be.
Yeah, let me send a link to Rich in case he wants to join us. Hang on one second.
WNBA history to start the season with back-to-back 20 points, 10 assists.
Give me a second.
27 last game led all scores, and she does not like losing Angels. She's a competitor. Told us in both games that she wants to do to the Dream what they did to them on their home court. Expect her to be aggressive for a full 40 minutes tonight. And we'll keep an eye on the tab. Thanks for joining us, everyone. This should be a fun Leslie start with the starting lineup presented by Georgia Lottery. We'll begin with the Indiana Fever, the core, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston with back-to-back double-doubles to start the season, and their two acquisitions with Joanna Bonner and Natasha Howard. The season best something they wanted to
So
in the Atlanta Dream. Tahina Powell has been amazing in her starts as a rookie, and Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones have been the English for the Atlanta Dream to start the season. But it all begins with how Allie should play. And Ryan,
you have a stream from Iowa?
on the outside and defend on the defensive end as well.
Really?
Stephanie White going back to Indiana.
So
Coaches extend there.
anyway, same starting lineup, but I heard Sophie Cunningham's playing.
Was also heading back to mention how important it was to establish what she wanted in this season in the first time head coach.
Stephanie White coaching for her job tonight.
Who was pleased with what his team was able to do. The word he used for us
How do you watch it?
on Tuesday was balance.
It's on Prime.
See it here tonight as Atlanta starts off with the rock. It's Tahina Powell being guarded by Joanna Bonner. That's a little bit of a different look to
Amazon Prime.
minutes have been limited. With Stephanie White mentioning the rotations with the anchor. As right away, a three goes up for Bree Jones. So you see they're playing.
Bree Jones throwing a three?
Shoot that three ball, and she said, "Listen, I can score from in the paint."
It just started. It's 3-0 Atlanta.
Game scoring 9.
Clark with 2 points.
Caitlin Clark can score with the best of them, and she's going to do that the entire game. We said in the pregame.
What did I do last time? I got it from a WNBA website to get you guys
She's the first player in WNBA's history to start the season with back-to-back 20-point, 10-assist games. And by the way, that first game was a triple-double against the Chicago Sky. And right away, Bree Jones, efficient in the paint. Yeah, picking up where she left off. This is how she started the game on Tuesday as well, just dominating in the paint. They could not stop her. I hope Aaliyah Boston had her Wheaties this morning because she's about to go over. That was a matchup that we love to see. William Boston actually was guarded mainly by Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner fouled out of the previous game on Tuesday. DeWanna Bonner up and out. And O'Connor is excited to see the bottom of the net. Didn't have any points in the last game, and just 7 in the first game of the season. Just not Bonner-like. BG going against Natasha Howard and another bucket. How about the free agency picks with the first 7 for Atlanta? And we're seeing that tandem big go off right now. They can't stop either one of them. You can't double team because you leave one of them open. Looks like Tuesday, Atlanta off to a very efficient offensive start. 9 on the shot clock. Aaliyah Boston going against BG. Bad idea. Gets it back to Natasha Howard. 3 on the shot clock. And gets it to drop.
All right.
Natasha Howard,
finally.
Right as a rebounder. She's a veteran in this league. She knows how to play around the rim. Ryan Howard. And that goes through the net early. For Ryan, it's all systems go. She told us
where was the defense on that play?
But she also said, stay tuned, Angel. It's coming. She starts this one off good. Out of bounds for Kelsey Mitchell trying to work the baseline. Going back to
Fast forward and rewind unavailable.
I mean, what can you do with this? You have to play them straight up in single coverage. Bree Jones just going to work, and then Brittany Griner at 6'9", taking on Natasha Howard, who's 6'3", 6'4". There's nothing you can do with that when she gets that deep in the paint. Brittany Griner will line it up as well. That one's off the mark. Leah Boston comes down with the rebound. Caitlin Clark comes off the screen, but an offensive foul against Natasha Howard will get it back to Atlanta. Just laid there like she got up with a smile, but right here she gets taken out by moving the screen on Natasha Howard, and that's a point of emphasis.
I don't know.
If you're guard and Caitlin Clark, you want to allow your post players
Really?
to sit there and set that screen, but Natasha Howard picks up the offensive foul. And they had a few of those in the game on Tuesday as well. Something that Steph White said in her post game was efficiency and discipline. That's what she's challenging her team. Bree Jones snaps away. Gets it back for Atlanta.
How do these women let them?
Again, outside, no good. A foul on the floor.
These women have got to strengthen up their hands.
The shots rimming in and out for both
It's
teams.
too easy. It's too easy to take the ball away from them.
For Indiana on that offensive foul, they allowed Brittany Griner to just allow it to bounce to her.
Caitlin Clark traveled. Well, I think the foul call already occurred before she traveled, but I could be wrong.
Atlanta out-rebounded Indiana 37-32. A lot of those offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities as well. 4 on the shot clock. Off the bounce, Tahina Pow slipped and will not get it off. That'll be a turnover for Atlanta there first. What I can say about that shot from Pow is she's showing us some good flexibility. She almost did split right there, and I was very impressed. Well, that topped on how she took the screen, fell flat on her face, pops right back up. It's beautiful to be young, right? She's young. Springy, tough as they get. Champion at South Carolina. Now 2 champions that have been at South Carolina as Alicia Gray on the floor with Tahina Pow as well. Aaliyah Boston, another champion from South Carolina. We can go on and on. As 5 seconds on the shot clock, DeWanna Bonner wanting too many steps, so they'll say a double dribble. And DeWanna Bonner is flabbergasted at the call, and it's just been frustrating for her in the first 3 games. It's the 3rd game of the season, but they haven't been able to get DeWanna Bonner involved offensively. Steph White telling us that's something they're working on and trying to fix. We know DB is a champion and she can score the basketball, but they got to get her involved. Scorers
They're going to travel there.
now 3rd in the WNBA all-time scoring list, passing Tina Thompson in their first game. Alicia Gray sending it back out to Pow. Short on the 3. Kelsey Mitchell, first step is lethal. Gets it out to Caitlin Clark.
Oh.
The back iron. And that's how Indiana wants to play. They want to push pace.
At least Kelsey Mitchell passed.
Going to the rim. Just brings off. Moves it up. Brittany Griner thought it went off the fingertips of Aaliyah Boston, but it will stay.
Why isn't that a foul on Griner? She went over her back.
Fearless, and that's something that Carl Smesco loves about her. She had a really good training camp. She's been working hard in these first few games of the season. 0-3 so far, but he loves her intensity. I love that he said that she welcomes and relishes in the big moments. Kelsey Mitchell off the mark, and Bree Jones rips down the rebound. And at South Carolina, she had a lot of big moments. So she's used to it. I would say. Well, the undefeated team is Ryan Howard. Gets to the rim, gets fouls. That's something we were talking with them about. When's the balance going to be there? She says being able to go off the deck is very important in this game. And one thing Ryan's been trying to balance is how to get other people involved.
It's not much of a foul.
Getting her points and her scores.
Was that on Clark?
First game of the season, she kind of took over in the second half and did her scoring. Same thing with last game, but now we see her trying to get involved very early in this one. A couple of substitutions for Atlanta. As Lexi Hole will check in. Coming in for Natasha Howard. All eyes were waiting to see if Aaliyah Boston would come out. She's picked up it early too, and we're about halfway through the first quarter. And that is worrisome if you're Steph White, the Indiana Fever, because they need Aaliyah Boston in their battle. She definitely went to work on Tuesday against Atlanta's Bigs. This is the biggest lead for Atlanta. 12-4 start.
Oh, we got Clark off the ball again.
Just shooting 28% from the field. Kelsey tapping it up top. Sends it to Aaliyah Boston and too strong.
Okay, I don't understand. Just let Clark run her offense.
1-1. Right, going at Lexi Hall. We've seen that matchup quite a bit as Hall comes in and picks up her first foul. I've never seen somebody so shifty with a knee brace on.
Oh, gosh.
Ryan looks good out there. The handles, she made it. Lexi Hall. Hall had to foul her. But her mentality in this game is reminiscent of some big games that we've seen from Howard. 5 on the shot clock. Ray Jones going at Mirs Dantas. As Maya Caldwell creating another second chance opportunity for Atlanta, but Bree Jones couldn't connect. Yeah, a couple of missed chippies right at the rim.
You took Mitchell out for Dantas? Oh,
and just a mishap for Kelsey Mitchell wanting that back bounce pass to Maya Caldwell. And Atlanta just coughs that back up. So both teams putting a little bit of a hot potato to start the game, but Atlanta filling it from the floor. They have the 12-4 advantage. All systems go.
They should have got the Russian coach, huh?
Sure. Millions of people trust this.
Yeah, and they're a new team. They have a lot of new cogs in their. You guys, I can get the score up there. Let me get it.
So your customers can notice. Stickers so they can remember. And everything else your business needs to keep them coming back.
WNBA.com.
Customers get 20% off. Vistaprint.com. Because if you need it, we print it.
Ryan Miller fixes his hair. Doesn't know why he picks such an ugly shirt, but knows he can do more with his money. Ryan opens his Fidelity app, sees his opportunity, and takes it. Ryan sets his investments to automatic. That was easier than I thought.
It's a good shirt. It's like flowers, but also a cow.
Not sure that helps.
Start investing with no account minimums. Talk about easier investing.
Warning, the following footage is offensive. Defensive. Extremely confident. Occasionally disrespectful. So devastatingly good. You'll shit your passwords to WNBA 2025. OMG, so good. These slippers can prove! Exclamation point, exclamation. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the W.
Welcome back to State Farm Arena, where we find a bold statement in Alandrian's collaboration with Player Society and Cash App. Pay some respect to women's sports. The first time that we're seeing this in a WNBA and NBA court. And I'm joined by the founder of Player Society, Esther Wallace. Esther, your mom told me about that little girl who used to carry around the sketch pad all the time. hours of sketching, hours and hours of work, but it's really just my passion and what I love to do. So honestly, this is just the result of following through with your passion and always showing up and always following through. In a sold-out arena at that, and it's a bold statement. Pay some respect to women's sports. Why was that personal to you to share that message, and why now? Honestly, it's something that needed to be said. It's something that I can say over and over and over again. So it's just important to continue to drive it home because we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. Absolutely. Not just a court design, though. Your merch can be found everywhere across WNBA. What kind of responsibility do you know that you have as you're shaping the culture that we're seeing here in today's game? I mean, honestly, a lot of this wouldn't exist.
Nice pass, but
If someone didn't do it, that's how I always felt from the beginning, and it just happened to be that I had the passion and the skill set and all of those things, and ended up being the first to do a lot of these things. And so I think the responsibility is to be the one that's bold enough and fighting.
Why are we interviewing this woman?
Because it's not easy. And so showing up for the players, showing up for their fans, and showing up for the community. But they make it easy for me to do it because they give me that momentum and that energy, and so I just follow through based off of the energy they give me. Playa Society has definitely demanded that attention. It is bold, it is fierce, and you always champion women athletes. Thank you so much for what you do for this game. Thank you. And like I said, I just genuinely love what I do, so I'm always going to show up anytime that I can. Thank you, Esther. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Autumn. What an amazing collab that we were able to walk in for shoot-arounds and see the court and see the excitement around this as well. And it was lovely to know that this court will also be donated.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be donated to a local girls club. And I just love the all black. I love the message for to pay some respect to women's sports. It's not just basketball, but sports in general. And the court has been received well on social media as well. A lot of the fire signs associated. Absolutely love it. Continuing to inspire women to chase their dreams after their favorite WNBA players as Ryan Howard has an early 7 points for Atlanta. Kelsey Mitchell off the mark. 0 for 2. Still looking for her first field goal tonight. Before the timeout, Atlanta defense was holding Fever to just 25% from the field. It's been a struggle for them to get a good look. And they just can't find the bottom of the net. But both teams have missed a couple chippies right underneath the rim. I think Atlanta's just been a lot more aggressive offensively, which is the same way they started on Tuesday night. And Sophie Cunningham, we weren't sure if we were going to see her, but she just checked into the game. She's questionable coming in. Early this morning, they said out, and then they came back and said, wait a minute, we're actually thinking she's questionable. And the game that she injured her ankle was actually the preseason game against Atlanta. So making her way back against the Dream again, a much-needed asset for them coming over from Phoenix. Spent time with her old teammate, Brittany Griner, and Phoenix as well. So a lot of connections and links between these two teams. Hall going right at Tahina Pow and gets the bucket and much needed for Indiana. And even though it was preseason, Lexi Hall was a player who was fierce, and she was intense in the game. She really brought a different intensity when she came in and kind of just took over offensively. That's her MO, and Bree Jones was left outside and short for the 3. Damaris Dantas literally stated her and said, I dare you to shoot that ball. She's 50% this game from 3, but she can knock it down. Back-to-back buckets for Indiana. Now
Lexi Hall.
Starting to groove, led by Lexi Hall. Yeah, they needed someone to ignite them, and she comes in and does just that. Both her and Sophie Cunningham just bring a fire and a fierceness to this Fever team. Lexi with 5 off the bench. Whitney Griner couldn't connect on the layup. So right now we see a shift in the momentum. Indiana's coming through.
Why is it
starting to stall offensively?
Jeez.
That just fell in the hands of Brittany Griner right now.
Make a layup.
A 5-0 run. Tahina Pow pushing the pace, finding Bree Jones, but couldn't connect. They'll say it was tipped out of bounds. Actually, it will go back to Indiana. And that's something that's chemistry in the making. You see Bree Jones and Tahina Pow talking about it right now, where Jones is, my guess, telling her the angle that she needs to be at. Pow needs to bring that down a few more feet so that she has a better angle to get that into Bree Jones, because when you're a post player and you're holding up another big body, you cannot go.
Why is Clark playing off the ball? Oh my God.
As decorated, as great as she was on the collegiate level, there is a learning curve on the W side. And so that's one thing, is understanding when and where. Coach Nesco is challenging her, especially in the mishap of not having Jordan Canada still out right now due to a knee injury that she suffered in a preseason game. Yeah, she's going to have to grow up very fast. And
10 points.
Just about that news, telling me that she's done very well as far as her mentality goes. He likes her intensity. He likes that she's not afraid. And Tahina Paopao told us that coming into the WNBA is exactly what she expected to be: faster paced, tougher, more physical, more intense. Miss Bontis with the rejection against Alicia Gray, hands it off to Caitlin Clark. Got the switch with Bree Jones on her, sends it to the corner. Sophie Cunningham comes in and out three. Smart play though from Clark, who drew in two defenders, and she could have won up with that layup, but she decided to kick it out to Cunningham. That'll fall eventually. Indiana just 1 for 4 from outside on the other end. Ryan Howard continues to put her foot on the gas on the inside. I love how she's just getting to the rim. We talked about this last game, and we said the difference maker for this team and how far they go is going to be their franchise player, Ryan Howard. Yes, we picked up Breonna Jones. Yes, they picked up Brittany Griner, but Ryan Howard is this team's franchise player, and she's got to be physical every night, in and out. Now, Silman will take a trip to the free throw line, connects on the first of the pair, and what's very special about Now Silman, just a season ago, she was relied on heavily. She was starting a few games this year. She hasn't had a lot of minutes, but in the previous game against Indiana, she came off the bench, knocks down the three, and automatically really winning the trust from Coach Nesco of why she's needed and the impact she can make on both ends. Absolutely. We didn't like seeing that she didn't touch the court the first game. And we said, how
it's a foul on Howard.
Jones did it last game, does it again. Going the distance. What did you call her? Point forward. Why not? Bree Jones off to a fantastic start for Atlanta. 7 points, matching Ryan Howard. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. And Natasha Howard short on the shot. Atlanta's just making Indiana take all kinds of tough shots.
Oh, put the ball back in Clark's hand.
5 turnovers for Atlanta.
Well, you can't.
5 turnovers for Indiana.
Why are they have her play off?
About a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock. There's a lot of bumping and chippiness at half court between Ryan Howard and Caitlin Clark. And last game, Ryan Howard's defense really got Caitlin Clark taken aback, and you can see the hold there. Then Ryan Howard doesn't like that. There's some words between the two players. Now Silva quickly comes over and gets her bestie out of the scuffle.
Howard had the contact first. She's the one out of line.
What I love about this, though, is that you relish in these moments. This is so good for women's basketball understanding. It is so competitive. Now switching up to Joy Walker-Kimbrough, coming in, guarding Caitlin Clark. It's about even on the game and shot clock, so they're hold for the last shot of this quarter. Caitlin gets it back, tries to send it over. Cunningham gets it to go. Just the second three for Indiana. And the half-court heave will be no good for Atlanta. The flurry of buckets for Indiana. Atlanta, though, still in charge. Things are getting chippy. Atlanta's got the go-ahead. We go to the point forward of this team. Bree Jones picking up where she left off. 2 feet in the paint.
Howard's being awful physical with Clark, and she's not getting any calls. But then she finally got one after that on the next play. So, all right. Only down by 5, considering they played like crap. That's not bad. Why are they not playing up tempo? I thought the coach said she wanted to run. That she wanted to play up tempo, but she's not, and she needs to put the ball back in Clark's hands. Oh, God, get Lisa Bluter out of retirement, please. Oh. I'm drained already from this first quarter. I don't know what's going on. Why is Clark not being ball dominant? That's when she's most effective. Ryan was out of hand. She's being physical, and Clark pushed her away, and then she pushed Clark. Yes. This is not hard. You don't even have to coach the team. Just give the ball in Clark's hands. So they're pressuring Clark. Who cares? They pressured Clark all last year, and she brought the ball up. Where did they find this Russian coach?
All right, the books. Before we head to the second, let's talk about a couple of the first picks in their respective classes. We have 4 total on the floor tonight. Brittany Griner in 2013, Ryan Howard, Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark, all on the floor for tonight. A lot of talent on the floor. It's been fun. It's been a little chippy to start between a couple of those number 1 overall draft picks as well. But I do say this about this matchup, it always brings out the best on the other side, and it's been a lot of fun to watch these two teams go at it. If you're a competitor, you want this kind of game. And some people might read into the chippiness in a different way, but like you said, it's good for women's basketball because these two teams, especially those number 1 overall picks, they want to get it popping out here. They're going to compete. Look, Caitlin Clark only 1 field goal made since the 9-minute mark. But it's how everyone else gets involved. Natasha Howard with a beautiful dive to the ring. You know, Ryan Howard's defensive intensity was praised by Coach Mesko on Caitlin Clark last game, and she's really been in Clark's face today. We've seen Walker Kimber on her as well, but I think it's affecting her offense. As much of a struggle it was for Indiana to score in the first quarter, it is just a 1-possession game that's down 3. Alicia Gray off the mark, and Indiana could tie with a triple. Caitlin Clark too handsy with Alicia Gray. So Gray will pick up the foul there.
Gray trying to get some explanation from the referee for that foul, and she hasn't hit a shot either so far in this game. Gray 0 for 3, and that's not very like her. Atlanta's got to find a way to get her going as she stays in the game with that foul.
Yeah, Alicia Gray was one of the 4 players that scored in double figures in their previous game on Tuesday. She had 16 and right now has struggled from the floor. Dantas from outside.
Oh, come on, Dantas.
That's brought down by Howard. Dantas again hits the mark.
All right. Finally.
She's a big who can also space the floor. So much like Bree Jones for Atlanta, they're going to have to figure out if they want to play Damaris Dantas for the 3 or for the penetration. So we are all tied at 18.
Boston only has 2 fouls. Why is she still on the bench? Well, Dantas is playing fine, but...
I think that Steph White, whatever she said, they have received and accepted the challenge.
And Clark is saying that Howard is pushing off with that arm.
Caitlin Clark picks up her second foul, so Atlanta will get it on the side. You know, Atlanta hit a couple of buckets early
early in this ballgame, led by their front court. Brittany Griner and Bree Jones had the first 7 points for Atlanta as the illegal screen at the top of the key will send it back to Indiana. BG will be charged with the foul. So again, Atlanta got
Amazingly, they're tied.
as well. But as we take a look at the replay, you see Brittany Griner kind of step to the right, and you have to be stationary, stable, not moving as soon as the offensive player crosses you. So BG picking up that offensive foul. Indiana gets the ball back. They can extend on this 13-4 run. Dantas from the same spot, different results as Gray comes out of the pack, trying to see if she could get eyes up on BG, but she was guarded heavily by Dantas in the upcourt. Sophie Cunningham smothering defense on Alicia Gray. The double team comes over for BG. She has 5 seconds to work with. In and out. Bree Jones tries to get it up. That's blocked by Howard. And there is a different sense of urgency for Indiana in the second quarter on the defensive end. Yeah, we saw them bring the double team a few times last game. And this one, that was the first time they brought it over. So Dantas plays her on the front side, gets to the bottom, and there comes the help with Howard. BG puts it up. It almost didn't matter, the defense, with Brianna Jones getting that offensive rebound. I know Atlanta would like to have those chickies underneath the rim. 10 on the shot clock for Atlanta as Gray goes off the bounce, met by Howard. Still looking for help, finds Ryan Howard. 3, long heave, short, and Sophie Cunningham dribbled already, so has to pass it up to Natasha Howard. Indiana defended that play very well, didn't allow Atlanta to get anything off. Kelsey Mitchell lets it fly, and they have their first lead of this ball game.
That was a 2?
Indiana just staying the course in this one. They didn't worry about how they started this game, down 8 to Atlanta. A 7-0 run to start the quarter for Indiana. Atlanta looking for some help on the defensive end. And this is what started it all. Kelsey Mitchell getting herself going. She lights it up from beyond the arc. Fever take the lead up 2.
Natasha doesn't have. Natasha has 4 points. What are you talking about?
So many kids.
Not just hands. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Are you looking at some? It says here she has 4 points.
Or yes, you can.
Why are you saying she has 9?
Certain things you can't do.
Yes, you can. Or just hands. What? With sparkling
Is that wrong?
Yes, your hand was inside you all along. Sparkling ice caffeine. Anything but sun.
Introducing the all-new WNBA.
Take your buzz on Take your buzz on
Hey Google,
Turn it up. Take your buzz on
Does she get a lot of long twos? Really? I never noticed that.
ever since I was young, my dream has been to open a
Really? Mine says 4.
to make unique, colorful, world-class chocolate.
This is ESPN.
Countless flavors and 5 shops later, I have got a lot on my plate. Acrobat makes my job easier, so I can.
How could she have 9 if Lexi Hall has 5, Demontres has 3?
Chocolate to really good people.
I don't think she could have 9. That would be too many points. Because Dantas has 3, Cunningham has 3, Lexi Hall has 5. It's 11 right there. Hall Mitchell. Your box score is wrong.
I'm a leader by pushing my teammates to be the best that they can be.
I am a leader because I set a strong example.
I'm a leader by being responsible. I stand up for myself and others.
I'm confident. I am caring.
We want girls to lead their own way. That's why the NBA and WNBA are proud to support Leading Girls, a program that teaches girls to reject stereotypes and embrace their leadership superpowers. This is what leadership looks like.
Tree fans, let's give them a warm round of applause.
Welcome back to the Staples Farm Arena where the Indiana
Well, they're up by 2, and they look awful.
versus the Atlanta Dream, and the Atlanta Dream are seeking back-to-back wins over the Indiana Fever. In fact, May 20th was a very special special day for Carl Smesco, getting his first ever WNBA win as a head coach. In fact, he was doused with water to celebrate. His team just celebrated him in such an incredible fashion. And he told him he was confident the Dream were going to win, so he made sure he packed an extra set of clothes for this moment. And when I asked him preseason, why now? Why the WNBA? He said, I was ready for another challenge. The WNBA is so special to me because I've been a big fan for a long time. There were only 13 jobs available, so when I heard the Dream might be interested, I wanted to hear what they had to say. And right away, they had the same vision.
Did Lexi call bank?
Fever had come alive in the second quarter. Dream has missed the last 8 field goals. Indiana now on a 10-0 run. And it's been because of those 2 players on the screen. Well, they were just on the screen, and Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham. I called it in the first quarter when they came in. Those 2 bring a different dynamic to this team. The fierceness, the fiery fierceness, and intensity. They really just turned this game around for the Fever. And this is why Steph White was so aggressive in the free agency in the offseason, understanding what type of style she wanted with this group. Again, Sophie Cunningham, how big has she been in this game? Indiana's bench has 11 points. Good block. Good block by Ryan Howard. He thought it went off for Kelsey Mitchell. And that's that size difference that you get with a big guard like Ryan Howard at 6'2" over Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell thinks that she has a layup to get past her, but the length of Howard just smothers that one. And Howard's going to take a breather for a second. So both teams have gone to the bench. Atlanta has called a timeout to challenge. So we'll have the results after the break.
Challenge?
Travel. It's gone from being an adventure.
Yeah, that was a good trade. Sophie.
But the world is still full of wonder.
They lost the first round pick, but they probably would have gotten no one better than Timpson anyways at the 8th position. So they got Sophie for Melissa Smith. It's basically picking up Sophie for free. Paul's ready for bed. Me too, because they're playing slow offense. I want Caitlin Clark to be run fast-paced offense. It's the only time women's basketball is exciting is when Caitlin Clark is playing fast-paced offense.
Okay, major green flag. If they do 5 grams of sugar, that's the red flag list.
Okay, nobody's leaving the pizza there, trust me.
It's easy to sign up and get in on the action with just a few taps. You can bet on which team you think will win or try a player prop. And FanDuel, the ball's in your court. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Plus, all customers get 1 month of WNBA
Ball's going to sleep.
On us. Only on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that, Bobby. You're right for once. But it doesn't have to be if they're just letting Caitlin Clark run. No. Why is she having Clark play off the ball?
I love playing basketball. And we don't make it to the pros. Or have a shooting. But I keep playing. Those gain confidence. And I'll make new friends. I'll play hard up there. I'll stay physically and mentally fit. I'll play with anyone. And most importantly,
All right, fans, you decide the winner. #1, make some noise.
We don't need Victoria Saxon's. Victoria Saxon wasn't even good enough to get a tryout after she got waived by the Fever. I don't know what you're talking about Victoria Saxon for.
Ryan Howard did get the block here on Kelsey Mitchell. Oh, yeah.
She's got a point, and it looks like it goes off of Kelsey Mitchell's left arm. And we'll get the other angle. She blocks the shot, and right here goes off of Mitchell's arm. And I don't think Howard touches it again. And sometimes, Angel, on these challenges, when you're a coach, you're looking at the reaction of your player. And Howard was adamant on that one that was off on Mitchell. So we're being told that it is an unsuccessful challenge in coordinating with the Indiana Fever.
Really?
They have lost their challenge. So they must
That wasn't off Mitchell?
Because from those angles, that looked like it was off on Mitchell.
My God, the Fever got a break on that one. It looked like to me it was off Mitchell, but then her arm was still extended, Howard, so it could have gotten off.
Continues to be a huge impact for Indiana off of the bench, and Alicia Gray picks up her third foul. Yeah, Gray a little frustrated out there. She's still.
I mean, it looked like it was off Mitchell, but at the same time, Howard's arm was still extended to where Mitchell was, and she could have touched it as it was hitting Mitchell.
Forcing the foul. They're going to try to get Gray going after halftime. More than likely, she just had a frustrating first half so far. Kelsey Mitchell, long two.
Another long two.
11 points in the quarter for Indiana. Atlanta still looking for.
She can't see the 3-point line? So why is Clark on the bench? Will someone tell me that?
She's a veteran, but Griner at 6'9" just took her time on that shot. We saw her pivot a few ways, and a lot of times when you're the defender, you get impatient when you have an offensive player who's that patient. And Griner just doing a good job of fading DB. Yeah, 6'4", guarding 6'9". A little Kelsey Mitchell mentioned about the adjustments that they needed to make coming into the second game against Atlanta. And just the emphasis of, we know that Brittany Griner has the link, but what's the work that we're going to do beforehand to try and take her off the block? But the round of honor didn't avail there, ball out of bounds, and it will go back to the Fever. And we saw both Brianna Jones and Brittany Griner.
I'm not Rob, I'm Mark. Why is Caitlin Clark on the bench? She only has 2 fouls. She doesn't have 3 fouls.
10 of Atlanta's 19 points. Pay attention to the Brittany Griner and the Leah Boston matchup when they go down at the other end. It's Chippy on that end. Both teams somewhat struggled from the field. Indiana shooting 35% from the field. Atlanta just 25%. But it's coming, as you mentioned, from the bench and how they're getting things going. And it's different to see Caitlin Clark, who's on the bench right now, just has 2 points, 1 for 3 from the field. But how
Yeah, we're twins.
In on the action. In the first quarter, we didn't hear a lot of whistles. That's Pow knocks down the 3.
Why do you leave Pow open? That's the best part of her game is 3-point shooting. Is there something wrong with? Quarter and a half, they've scored 24 points. Oh, 2 3-pointers in a row.
Now we're getting the offense for both sides going back and forth. Atlanta had the lead for a second, and then Indiana comes back. Kelsey Mitchell and a foul against the Fever. Both Brad Steele and just ran into my home. The second quarter has been a little bit choppier than the first quarter, and I think it was the way the first quarter ended when you had Howard and Clark kind of in each other's faces. So the refs starting to call this game a little bit tighter in the second quarter. That was something that Caitlin Clark mentioned in the last game as well, just the choppiness of the game, trying to get into a rhythm, especially 2 teams trying to find the chemistry with one another. The dump pass on the inside, high-low, nothing there. If you're PG, you want to take that shot. She's wide open at the free throw line. Sophie decided to bring the ball out. Finds PB on the block, going against Ryan Howard. And that's stolen.
Good defense by the Dream. Bree Jones came down to dig for help. Just the first turnover for Indiana in this quarter. Caitlin, you know very well she likes to let it fly from the left. Pulls up baseline, good to go. It was the hesitation that got that shot to go. She saw BG in the lane, thought twice, and after she got
Why didn't she take the three though?
And put that one up. And I like the chit chat from Celebrity Row as well. Caitlin giving a little smile after dropping that one in. Ryan
Clark has 4 points, not 2 points, but
I would have said at the other end that she didn't get that call. Kelsey Mitchell going at Pow Pow, and a late whistle will send Kelsey Mitchell to the free throw line. Bree Jones pleading her case to the referee. Did not think that was a foul, but again, both these teams like to play with a lot of pace. The aggressor is going to win this game, and right now the Indiana Fever has just put their foot on the gas and have been the aggressors. How different is the pace of this game, though? You can tell like the jumpiness, obviously, on both sides. The offense has gone through their goals on both sides, but for Atlanta, who's scoring 7 points in this quarter so far, this is a team that had 2 frames with 38-plus points. Now, you have to credit the Indiana Fever for the adjustments that they made on the defensive end, especially after the slow first quarter. I mean, the adjustments they made were in 2 players, right?
Bonner wasn't worth the 200,000.
And I can't talk enough about just the mentality and mindset that those 2 play with. They are some fierce women, and they don't mind getting in your face and trying to make you make a mistake. 4-point lead for the Fever. Bree Jones underneath gets the rock and gets the bump as well. Aaliyah Boston
That didn't look like a foul to me.
And that was an excellent run play from the Atlanta Dream. Pow Pow.
Boston just kind of slid with her.
She just split the 2 after she got the view of Bree Jones gliding to the rim, and she draws that down on Aaliyah Boston.
How is that a foul?
And that is tough because they're definitely going to need her in the second half. Bree Jones knocks down the first of the pair substitutions on the way for Indiana. So with that third foul, that will send Aaliyah Boston to the bench. She'll have a short conversation with head coach Steph White. And both teams frustrated with, a few calls. You've got
It wasn't a foul.
Gray for Atlanta with 3 fouls. And then Aaliyah Boston on the other end with 3 fouls. So both these teams like to get to the free throw line. Somebody's going to be in foul trouble. And in the midst of it all, Bree Jones with 12 points and 6 rebounds. She started the season with back-to-back double-doubles and is well on her way for a third one. Atlanta's just doing a really good job of trapping Caitlin Clark on that left side. Natasha Howard, so shifty. That footwork. As Atlanta almost caught the ball up trying to send it on the inside. They'll say it's a jump ball. Again, Sophie Cunningham getting her hand in there with a deflection and forcing that jump ball. If we're going back to the first quarter, it's interesting to fathom Indiana right now on a 21-9 run. And this is still just a 4-point game, so that tells you the kind of lead that Atlanta had when they put their foot on the pedal in the first quarter. But it's much like the last game, right? Like Atlanta had that lead in the first quarter, but Indiana came back. Almost not enough going into halftime. Kelsey Mitchell as Caitlin Clark tried to pirouette on the sideline. Couldn't get that one corralled in. Atlanta gets the ball, 2:45 left in the first half. This second quarter has gone to the Indiana Fever. We've seen a more physical defense, and offense has been going very well for them, especially off of the bench. Griner. Hufford on the inside, have to send it out. 3 on the shot clock for Atlanta. Sometimes that's what Ryan Howard is most successful in the last second heaves. You know what? That's been a few times they went down to the end of the shot clock as Howard slips through and Caitlin Clark finds her.
Nice pass.
Last season's assist leader. And this is the pace that we're used to seeing from this game. One team scores, the other team scores back to back. And it's how they're moving off of one another. That was a connection I was very interested in seeing with Natasha Howard. So going back to Ryan Howard. play on words. Ryan Howard as the shot clock is going down. That is nothing but net, ladies and gentlemen. That is what she can do.
Easy dish on the inside, and Alicia Gray was willing that one in as it's a one-possession game.
And sometimes you need to see the ball go down. Hopefully that'll get Gray going with her first 2 points of the game.
Started this game 1 for 4 off the mark for Kelsey Mitchell. She has been off from outside, just 0 for 2. Tap out, going against the committee, lost the handle, tapped that down by the Fever. Atlanta will get it back underneath with 17 on the shot clock.
Right with a chance to set up. You see Carl Smesco checking in Brianna Jones and Niles Hillman. You want to get a 2 here or score with a minute and a half left in this game. Atlanta only down 2. You want the momentum in your favor if you're on your home court in Atlanta.
Gray found the space, couldn't get the bucket. Here comes Caitlin Clark.
What a pass. Just put the ball in Clark's hand. Jesus Christ.
What a first game back we're seeing from her. The strip by Kelsey Mitchell. Here comes the Jets.
Defense to offense. The Indiana Fever just getting their hands in the cookie jar, forcing Atlanta to turn the ball over. Live ball.
How many times is she going to use that expression, the cookie jar?
Points now for Kelsey Mitchell. 3 consecutive buckets for Indiana. Niles Hillman looking for help and instead turns the ball over. That will be the 2nd turnover for the Dream.
The Fever have been very successful bringing that double team over. They've done it a couple times to BG. They've done it to Niles Hillman. But they've just been communicating and bringing that help side defense with Natasha Howard.
Sorry about that tap. Less than a minute left in the first half. And an offensive foul. Kelsey Mitchell trying to get everybody on the same page.
And Mitchell giving her post players some words right now on how to hold the screen and not have a moving screen. Because they had the momentum going in this game. They want to get this lead going at halftime.
That's the 3rd foul on Caitlin Clark. Aaliyah Boston with 3 as well. She's on the bench right now for Indiana. A quick turnover for Atlanta. Sophie Cunningham up the mark. Got a 3-second difference between the game and shot clock. Ryan Howard trying to get everyone in their place. After a flurry of buckets from Indiana, really pushing in the open floor, Atlanta needs a response here. They got 4 on the shot clock. Howard pulls up, triple, good. When you get Ryan Howard mad, this is what happens. 2 on the shot clock. The response by Kelsey Mitchell just off the mark. And that will do it for the first half.
What an ugly first half.
Surging in the 2nd quarter and have the advantage by 3 going into half.
And Ryan Howard is pointing at the Indiana Fever bench, and she's still talking as she goes off at halftime. I don't want to see a mad Ryan Howard coming out of that halftime. I expect her to have her foot on the pedal when they come back out.
Indiana outscored Atlanta 24-16 in the 2nd quarter. They have to find some adjustments going in at halftime. We'll send it down to the 3rd.
That was a boring half.
Johnson will have Bree Jones.
Bree, already you have 2 threes.
What is going on with why aren't they giving the ball to Caitlin Clark and letting her run?
I think just being confident taking it because of giving me. I think I'm hoping for the 3. I can shoot it. Coach is giving me that freedom, so just taking what the defense is giving me.
For the most part of the game, you kept Indiana out.
I don't understand. I thought we were past this with the new coach.
We just got to be disciplined. We know what we need to do to take away, make the shots hard, and then keep them money that I make the damn time offensive rebounds and kick out time. We just have to keep them money that we got to take tough shots.
Thanks, Rick. Back to you guys.
I'm sorry. I can't get excited over this. Caitlin Clark's exciting when she runs. She's not exciting playing off the ball. Nobody is, except for Michael Jordan. I don't understand. I'll be back before the half starts. I don't know. I'll be back. What was I?
Okay, here's what you want to do.
this ball game. Yeah, and it was a little choppy between that first and second quarter, right? Like in the first quarter, there was barely anything called. But in the second quarter, very choppy. The refs on top of everything. The players who got the green back to within 3 was Ryan Howard and Reed Jones. Ryan Howard, a couple
All right.
in the shot clock, knocking down 2 3-pointers. Both her and Reed Jones have got 2 threes apiece, and they both got 12 points. Also, and Reed Jones is picking up where she left off. She's been intentional inside of the paint. She's been aggressive.
Doesn't matter how they're guarding. She can handle the. She can still run even though they're guarding her tough.
She's been a big reason why Atlanta's got the momentum so far.
And on the other side for Caitlin Clark, it's been a slow half for her. She just has 4 points, 2 for 4 from the field. She has been active with the 3 assists though.
Yeah, no threes in this game. Atlanta's defense is just frustrating Caitlin Clark in this one. It got chippy between her and Ryan Howard. But like you just mentioned, she got some assists to go through at the end of the second quarter.
I'm just watching Fever. No, it's they're just going over the stats on TV.
Anything that stand out to you, I'll say the bench points from Indiana, the 15-2 advantage is glaring.
Yeah, the bench is really keeping them in this game because Atlanta did a good job of holding their stars. We talked about Caitlin Clark just had 4. And the other thing that stands out to me is the free throws. Both of these teams like to push pace and get to the free throw line, get 2 feet in the paint. Atlanta's done a better job of that slightly, getting to the free throw line rate of 10.
And we'll bring in Autumn Johnson, who has more on the record show.
She said a lot of free throws in our last matchup when we played Indiana on Tuesday. Now only 7 for 8 on the line in this game. It's the opposite that we're seeing. She told me when we play through it, handle adversity and physicality, we can come out of this game.
I'm confused what Stephanie White is trying to do.
Both broadcasts just of how physical this game has been. It's something that Stephanie mentioned. How the team's going to be physical with us and what's the scout against that. So she said, if I'm on the opposing team, I got to create ways to get my team prepared for what they're going to see. As Indiana starts off with the ball in the second half, Caitlin Clark short on the attempt. How about this? In the first game on Tuesday, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark had a combined 51 points. So far through the first half, they have a combined 4.
Aaliyah Boston just frustrated with those 3 fouls. Credit Atlanta's defense for frustrating her. The bigs and Reed Jones.
No, credit the refs for making a bad call on the last one.
Alicia Gray held up 4 on the shot clock. Tahina Powell will have to send it from almost half court, and it's short.
You hear all the South Carolina fans like,
Almost had it. 1 inch. Aaliyah Boston in the game with the 3 fouls as Natasha Howard.
All right, that's good offense, actually.
The movement without the ball.
both these teams so deep though, because it's crazy how Aaliyah Boston has 0 points in this game, and they're still up 5. That shows you the depth that this Indiana team, and Atlanta has the same thing on the other side as well. A solid 2 rotations that can come in and give you some production.
Right now, Indiana has the advantage for bench points, 15-2, as Ryan Howard, you said keep an eye on her in the second half.
Ryan Howard did not like that they did not win against the Fever 1 game last season, and the last game of the season was an overtime one where she dropped 36 points.
Another outside shot for Natasha Howard. She's leading the way in double figures now with 13.
And it seems like her scoring has been so hard to come by as well in that first half. The second half, a little bit smoother so far.
Whistle underneath as Tahina Powell put on the spin cycle. She'll get 2 free throws.
And Ryan Howard just picking up where she left off. She was hot going into halftime. She hits Clark with the hezzy and then the pull-up. And that shot is killer from Ryan Howard.
Big news here as Caitlin Clark picks up her 4th foul. Having a conversation right now at half court. Steph White, as well as Blanca Burns.
They're giving her ticky-tack fouls. Now she has 4 fouls. Now she's got 4 fouls. She got 3 fouls at the end of near the end of the second quarter.
How they should call the game. They have a tough job, and you don't want to let it get out of control. But that first quarter was just
Clark's getting mugged, and yeah, she's got 4 fouls already.
He asks for pace, and she'll deliver. Kelsey Mitchell off the deck. She has double figures now. 11 points for Kelsey Mitchell. Had a slow first quarter,
She didn't even score in the first quarter, had all 9 of her points in the second, and continues to build.
Clark has 4 fouls, Paul, not 3.
And asking for an explanation, she gets the foul. She's literally telling the ref that they grabbed me, but on the other end of that, Chelsea.
If this is how they're going to play, I'm not going to watch.
The points for her in that first half seemed like they were hard to come by. She's getting going much quicker in the second half. Only the first foul for Bree Jones as Indiana gets it back.
Caden Clark has the worst whistle in the history of basketball. Ryan Howard's been physical on her all day.
Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell have been intentional in this second half about getting themselves going, and they're leading the scoring for the Fever. 15 points for Natasha Howard. She's 7 for 9 from the field. 7 points so far for Natasha Howard in this third quarter as Bree Jones on a late whistle, wondering when she was going to hear it, gets fouled. Leah Boston can only laugh at that one. She obviously does not agree with picking up her 4th foul. But Bree Jones, knowing the assignment, if somebody has 3 fouls, you go at them, and she does just that. And you see Boston take that right arm and come down.
How is that?
She might have thought she was straight up, but she slightly caved down, and that's what caused that foul.
Oh, God.
So 4 fouls now on Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. We'll take a seat. There's Dantas will check in as well as Sophie Cunningham. In her first game back this season, the 5 points off the bench. With a huge boost along with Lexi Holt. Steph White.
I hate this league.
They turned it around defensively for them the first half. 2-possession game. Atlanta trying to find their way back in. And chip away as Indiana has a 6-point lead. Natasha Howard couldn't connect. Now from the corner gets it to go. And they'll say it's a triple. South Carolina, the South Carolina connection. Alicia Gray picks up the assist. Pow picks up the 3. Kelsey Mitchell. A little 2-man game with Dantas, and the foul on Brittany Griner. That'll be her 3rd. Ryan Howard slings it around the rim, and Alicia Gray finds Pow outside of the arc. Too much space, and she just puts that one up over the net. And Kelsey Mitchell. There was no hesitancy. Now, Danita Pow, she understands her game, and that is to let it fly. We saw it at Oregon. We also saw it in her stint with South Carolina, where she was a NCAA champion, and we've seen it now on the WNBA level. Sophie Cunningham working her way and over the hands of Kelsey Mitchell. So that will be the 8th turnover for Indiana. And that's the defense that Atlanta wants to play. Everybody rotated, they communicated. Help side came, and Ryan Howard, and that forced Cunningham to throw that ball over the top of her teammate's head. And that's the kind of defense that Coach Vesco wants the Dream to play with. Indiana looking for some get back, as we mentioned, swept Atlanta just a season ago. Atlanta actually with a win on Tuesday broke a 5-game losing streak against Indiana. Ryan Howard behind the back and just short on the attempt. There's been a lot of shots just short for both teams. It makes you wonder how much legs they used on Tuesday, because both of them are just right touching the tip of that rim. Oh, that can't be an excuse. It's too early in the season, Tab. It's a long week. Dantas takes the bump and couldn't find the bucket. Ryan Howard found herself a rebound. Sitting it up the floor to Tahita Pow again.
Don't let Pete Pow get hot.
There's a reason why she was one of the 3-point leaders on the NCAA level. This is her back-to-back 3-point.
But she's
ties it all up for the Dream.
But they're too far off on the 3-point shot. You could still be closer. Just don't jump into them when they release it.
She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and then she developed agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. She started verbally lashing out, breaking things.
Man, I could coach this team better than Stephanie White could.
Symptoms were a different kind of difficult, so we asked her doctor for more help. Rexulti is the only FDA-approved medication proven to reduce symptoms of agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Elderly people with dementia-related psychosis
Might as well go watch the NBA game if we're gonna do this.
Stiff muscles and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent.
Morning munchies.
Can lead to coma or death, weight gain, increased cholesterol, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing, or sleepiness.
She's got 4 fouls though. She probably won't be into the fourth quarter.
Ask your loved one's doctor today about Rexulti. Moments matter.
So much for Kagan Clark getting a better whistle this year.
The all-new Acura ADX with available all-wheel drive, crafted to match your energy.
Okay, here's what you want to know. Save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Are you a caddy?
No, I'm a duck. And that's a window.
Okay, I'm gonna find out.
Okay, I'm gonna watch the lights.
Nice birdie.
Yes, he is a very nice bird.
No, I thought they were gonna run. That's what Stephanie White said she wanted to do. She said she wanted to run. So why aren't we running?
Feeling all day with WNBA First Strike. 72-hour sweat and odor protection, powered by ProCeraVite technology. Visibly healthier, smoother skin for arm-raising confidence. Dove 72-hour protection, underarm skincare.
There's more to any business than the game is.
Ugh.
You want to meet customers where they are.
Digital experience game.
Oh my God.
Make buying friction-free.
E-commerce strategy game.
Let's take Caitlin Clark and not take advantage of her abilities.
And we can help businesses of every kind advance and connect. All that it takes to perform. Whatever game you're in. Deloitte, trusted advisor to businesses of every kind.
The upcoming national TV schedule tomorrow, we have a doubleheader. The Sun and Lynx kick things off at 7:30, followed by Phoenix and Seattle on Saturday. That's on CBS.
I don't know about the team doesn't have how much the team doesn't have any work to do. Give the ball to Clark and run. The rest will figure it out. What is the call? What was the call on that?
So there's familiarity. But here in the W, the pace is faster, reads are faster, and you have to be okay with your decisions. She's been leaning on Jordan Canada, saying she's been walking her throughout this entire process. Absolutely, as Atlanta regains the lead here off the BG bucket. It's been by committee. It's Kelsey Mitchell, relentless. Gets it at the rim.
Kelsey Mitchell has come alive since the second quarter, and she is an automatic bucket. And back to what Autumn was talking about with Tina Pow was sealed for Atlanta to get her in the second round. I couldn't believe that she went in the second round. She led the nation at three-point shooting, the percentage that year that South Carolina was undefeated in their national championship run. And what a big boost also for Atlanta, looking to improve their identity from a season ago. Last year, they were 11 in offensive rating. They were 11 in three-point percentage and 10 in threes made. Of course, you go after a three.
All right, Howard's playing well.
We were undersized in the postseason. So impressive how Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, and Jordan Canada recruited BG and Brianna Jones to this team. Foul underneath on Namir Dantas. Battle between the bigs underneath with Bree Jones. That'll be the first for just the third on the team, as Bree Jones will take a seat. Impressive that Jones only has one foul. She has a knack around the rim, both on offense and defense, just so smart. I talked to Coach Mesco earlier today, and he just talked about how brilliant she is on the court at both ends of the court.
Look, it isn't that the Dream aren't good. It's they're getting away with too much physicality, and they're not letting, and Clark's not running.
So both sides just gave those offensive fouls. It's the second one for Brittany Griner, and yeah.
I don't know who Kathy Layden is, so.
And you cannot do that. You've got to
be stationary. In the moment, it might seem like you're not moving, but BG comes to try to meet Howard. I love that she said it on the last broadcast as well, because we saw it a few times, just allowing the dribbler.
Oh, make that shot, Sophie.
Turnover for Nia Coffee. Sophie Cunningham outside. Triple finds the bottom of the net. Those live ball turnovers are dangerous in transition. 9 turnovers for Atlanta. They've given up 7 points off of them. Oh, behind the back, she has the numbers. Finds Mitchell. And Chidori brings that series to an end. Right here, Ryan Howard's going to slow it down to try to regroup her team. Right off the bounce, is able to get to the rim, and nothing called. Here comes Howard.
Now they're running when Clark's not in there.
Takes it all the way. Might have been deflected by Tahina Bow, but way to hold her own in the paint. I like this pace a bit better, right? We've got some small fouls in there, but it's not enough contact. When you're in basketball, this is a contact sport. You're going to get something. So I like it. The refs are allowing them to play through some minor physicality out here because the pace has just got better. Sophie Cunningham will take a seat. She has 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Look at the first look at Sydney Colson coming in, the two-time champ.
Oh, don't put Colson in with Clark.
And now finding a home in Indiana. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Indiana with hole in the hole up in Nia Coffee. Gets the block. Nia Coffee had that big-time block to seal the game against Indiana Tuesday in their house, and she's known for her shot blocking ability. Satori strong on the triple. Caitlin Clark just 2 for 5 from the floor and continues on the ball. Nia lines it up.
Gotta get back on defense.
Who can stretch the floor. Nia Coffee can do just that. We talked about her shooting last season and how it wasn't exactly where it was a couple seasons ago, but she's come in this season with authority, and she's been looking good at both ends for the Dream. Who would have thought Atlanta? 8 threes already. With quick response for Indiana on the other end. Atlanta with 8 threes, Indiana with 5. You had that on the bingo card. Well, I didn't count it up. When you got a Nia Coffee who can shoot a 3, when you got a BG who can shoot a 3, when you got Brianna Jones who can shoot 3s and stretch the floor, I'll call that for Atlanta. Backdoor, more movement from Indiana. Gets another bucket. It's a little bit of a seesaw effect.
At least Natasha Howard can hit layups.
We're approaching the 92nd mark here in the third. They've got to adjust their defense on Natasha Howard, whether it's getting back earlier and pushing her off the block, not allowing her to be comfortable down there. They got to get her a little bit more uncomfortable. She's got 21 in this game. 8 on the shot clock. Maya Caldwell has to corral it back in. Another offensive foul against Brittany Griner. That will be her 5th.
Wow. 5 on Griner. You can't say it's totally unfair to the Fever. They don't like Griner either.
And it was a ticky-tack foul. And again, Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of an acting job. Not sure if that was actually a foul, but again, that's Brittany's 5th. Yeah, Brittany moved with that right arm. You can see the elbow come out of it. And once again, you have to allow the guard and the post player setup and the guard to run off you. Yeah, and that has not been the case a few times for Atlanta. They have to have the chance to correct their course of action. Caitlin Clark misses everything on that attempt, and you can see the frustration for the second.
What was that?
Atlanta's defense has definitely frustrated last year's rookie of the year with just 4 points. And this is something she's got to play through. You learn from it, you play through. The game's not over. How do you respond? Less than a minute in the third. Nia Coffee off the bench already has 6 points in 7 minutes. Ryan Howard going at DB. Got the ankle and the foul. 2 free throws on the way for Ryan. Smart move by Howard. She's missed a few layups in this game.
It looked like Howard initiated the contact on that.
But from what I'm seeing, the next step for Ryan Howard is being more intentional when you go to the rim. We talked about how she kind of falls funny sometimes. She's got to get stronger going to the rim, and that's going to be the next level for Ryan Howard. So I like that she's made this in-game adjustment to get the defense off their feet
and go in more intentional. Her second trip to the free throw line, she's been perfect from the charity stripe. She now has 15. 3 fouls on Dewana Bonner. That makes 3 players in the starting lineup for Steph White with 3 or more. Clark found a lane and she'll take it. And maybe that'll get her going. That's her 6th point of this game, and Atlanta's defense falling asleep. Waited too long for the 2-for-1 opportunity. Caldwell picks underneath and knocks him in. Sticky fingers, got it done. Smesco talked at halftime about how for them to have success, they have to be unselfish. Big time unselfish play. Mike Caldwell with the assist to knock him. 2 seconds left. Skip Colston finding Clark, and a foul will be called. So Brian Howard was trying to prevent the dive underneath. She picks up Ricker. Everybody in foul trouble in this game. Both sides. Are we going to have anybody left? Now, Atlanta has 3 players in the starting lineup with 3 or more fouls. BG on the bench right now is 5. As Aaliyah Boston's strong move gets the bucket. Her first 2 of the game. More 5 for Aaliyah Boston. And that will do it for the 3rd quarter. You mentioned Aaliyah Boston finding her first points, but Nia Coffey lining it up to help them in the 3rd. And this is why I love 4s that can stretch the floor. She came in, got a block, knocked down a big time 3. Atlanta's within 3. We got a ball game going to the 4th, ladies and gentlemen.
CC's defense is not as good as it was last game. She gets frustrated offensively, then she doesn't play as good as defense. I don't know. I'm so confused why they're not just giving the ball in Caitlin Clark's hand and running. Plus the refs. Ticky-tack fouls on Boston and Clark. Right. Well, she said she was gonna run. She wanted to run. That's why I'm groaning. She lied to me. Off the ball occasionally, yes, fine. Rob and I could beat these 5 women with the way they're playing here to it. Stephanie White's going to hear about it, trust me.
Well, the WNBA makes its changemaker partners ally AT&T, CarMax, Deloitte, Google, and Nike for their unparalleled support.
I don't understand. They did more running the first 2 games. Why would they stop doing that? It was successful.
And then there was one. We headed to the 4th quarter. 3-point game. We saw a little bit more action from the bench for Atlanta. So what do they need to do in order to find some more rhythm in the play? Well, what's interesting is at the half, they had 2 fast break points going into halftime. They are sitting at 11 right now. So in that third quarter alone, they put up 9 fast break points, which tells me they've been intentional about pushing the pace and getting 2 feet in the rim. So that's exactly what they have to do. They've got to put the pressure on Indiana defensively and keep their foot on the pedal.
Before that three, Atlanta was shooting 42% from outside. Right now, Indiana shooting 31. They came in the season ranked second in the league at 39.
She's challenging that foul call. She reached in and hit her.
Ryan Howard wants this matchup with Caitlin Clark. She switches and coach says, I got her. Because she knows that CC is going to...
They think it's legal to just hit the dribbler. DeWanna Bonner can't hit anything.
She does have 7 rebounds. And both of those threes rimmed in and out. I mean, how frustrating. And as a vet, she's not showing it. She knows how to keep her cool. But my goodness, this is a player who's 3rd all-time in the WNBA scoring. All-time, not just for active players. And she's sitting at 1 point.
ESPN is worse than Prime. Anything's worse than... ESPN's worse than...
Snatched it right out of the air. Finding me a copy. And that time can't connect on the triple. Ryan Howard, Caitlin Clark finding a way to miss. Excellent. Shifty getting into the paint. And those are the things that we don't talk about enough. Her ability to find space on the inside. I just love her response. Like Ryan Howard is in her face as she should be, but Howard, Caitlin Clark, as Howard picks up the foul, draws the foul. Has just kept her foot on the pedal, and she's staying in it mentally right here. She does a little hezzy spin move, gets Howard lagging behind on that first step, and just puts it in. I love the shiftiness, I love the creativity, and I love how mentally she's staying in this game for her team. Last year's Rookie of the Year. Last year had 14 double-doubles, 3 triple-doubles on her career as DeWanna Bonner brings down the ball. DeWanna Bonner with 8 rebounds now and didn't connect on the inside to Boston. Yeah, Boston wasn't quite there. She was still holding off the defense, and Clark takes the blame for herself on that one. But man, that would have been a nice pass, but she definitely split 2 defenders to get to the open spot. 11 turnovers for both sides as we have about 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. Biggest lead for Indiana with 8. Biggest lead for Atlanta, 9. So it's been about even going back as far as the lows we've seen from both teams. A lot of pressure. No one slides over to guard Boston.
Gosh.
But she couldn't connect. Block call for Lexi Hall. She stepped in on time, and instead she'll pick up the foul. That will be purple. Again, like we say with the post players who are setting screens and not giving the guards that first step to auto-correct. Right here, Lexi Hall doesn't give Ryan Howard a step to try to correct her actions and not run into the defense, and that's an offensive foul. Lexi Hall with 4, Caitlin Clark with 4, Aaliyah Boston with 4. On the other side, Brittany Griner not on the floor right now for Atlanta. She has 5. No one was 4 though outside of that for Atlanta. Backdoor, Gray had all the time she needed. And that was a beautiful connection for Nia Coffey and Alicia Gray. Nia Coffey just waited. She hesitated for a half second and allowed Gray to go backdoor, leaving her defender in the dust. Caitlin short once again. Some self-talk on the way back down the floor. Gray taking on the committee. Pull up. 2 more for Alicia Gray. Back to that bucket. Says it's a 1-point game. And Steph White looking to fine-tune some things for her squad. Alicia Gray is an all-star, 2-time all-star. And Steph White knows she doesn't want her to heat up. Alicia Gray getting some things going. She goes to the rim, pulls it back. Back to the net.
Can't lose another close game, especially to the same team they lost to the other night.
And now buy any foot long in the app for just $6.99. Great bread, great meat, great sauce, great deal. Get on it, people. Order now on the Subway.
I don't understand why they're not running more. I'm so confused.
Colorful world-class chocolate.
months later and 5 shots later, I have got a lot on my plate. After that, it's my job easier, so I can focus on what's most important. Bringing really good chocolate to really good people.
Really? Yeah, she took her out. She was playing good defense last game. She took her out on a defensive play. She put in Bonner, I guess, instead, but.
Beauty, Kerastase, and Beauty. All the hottest beauty products you won't regret. Available at Sephora.
They're only up by 1. They need to go on a nice run.
Are you a caddy?
No, I'm a duck. And that's a window.
Okay, I'm gonna putt now.
Okay, I'm gonna watch putt.
Nice birdie.
Yes, he is a very nice bird.
Oh no, leave him!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Cast of WNBA Enterprises may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
Caitlin should be taking 20 shots a game.
Atlanta with back-to-back buckets before the timeout makes it a 1-point game and brings us to the moves of the game. Sponsored by Georgia Power. And this is what you get when you build chemistry between teammates. Me and Coffee just wait for a half a second to allow Alicia Gray to do what she does and go back door, leaving Cunningham in her dust. Gets her on the board for her 6th point and gets Atlanta to within 1. Just an excellent pass from Coffee. An unselfish play. Guard cutting to the basket. We'll send it down to Autumn. Hey guys, well, Coach Carl Smith said, look for those backboard cuts is there, and if it's not there, work the screens, especially on that elbow. And Jordan Canada, we're emphasizing on offense, we have to move, cut screen, don't stay stagnant. And right now, I'm just making sure you're taking quality shots. Carl Smith also wants this team to put some pressure on the ball, so we'll see that as they look to close it out. Thanks, Autumn. Well, 1-point game, 7:09 left in the 4th. Caitlin Clark taking it out. She has 8 points after being held to just 4 in the first half. Aaliyah Boston got her first point in the 3rd quarter. Called the back door, and that's knocked out of bounds by Alicia Gray. Shot clock a factor for Indiana. They just have 4. And even though the ball goes back to Indiana, that's a great job by Atlanta because now you've got the momentum. Now you're in Indiana's heads. Back iron, and somehow, Alicia Gray was able to get it to Ryan Howard. Good balance, man. I would have been out of bounds. Or fail. If your knees tap, yep, they're accurate. Climb up here. Howard violation. So Natasha Howard picks up her 2nd, team's 3rd. Natasha Howard quiet for the last few minutes. Has been sitting at 21 since the middle of that 3rd quarter, where she got herself going. She's been loud throughout this ball game, as you mentioned. 10 for 14 from the field with 21. Brian Howard, too strong on the shot. As they bring it up to 4. Natasha Howard coming over in free agency, spinning the last year of Dallas. Another offensive foul, though. As Sophie Cunningham saying, no, I don't know about that one. And Stephon saying the same thing. Another conversation at half court with the officials. And I agree. I believe Cunningham was stable on this one. Oh, she might have been moving slightly. So we'll see if that's enough for the refs. In real time, it looks as if she wasn't. Challenge for Indiana, and we'll be back after the break.
I don't know. That looked good to me. That would be a normal pick to me. I don't know. These refs are so bad, though. Was she?
The fact that this recent dad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices.
It's just like a normal pick to
He
me.
also said, try caramel big cup.
New lip ID. Splash on, wet shop. Instant vitamin lip color. Hydrating wet.
Why don't they move? They've called 5 fouls on Griner, though. 2 of them were pick fouls, at least. So it's not like.
Red Lobster's new 3-quart shrimp sensation. It's a big deal for $19.99. So we got Troy Fatone, who was a big deal in $19.99 to promote it. Super salad, shrimp back, and shrimp entree for just $19.99. Only at Red Lobster.
The history of winning started with the 65 days losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they can sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Naturally, we call our stuff Gatorade.
Well, as the crowd continues to flag surf, the officials continue to look and see if this was indeed an illegal screen or not. It was challenged for Steph White on this play, and Steph White doesn't look happy as we watch the replay.
She's stationary when she runs into her. She gets pushed by the defender.
Steal in real time, but as I look at the replay, she was shifting just a little bit, and it is an unsuccessful challenge. I was going to question that if you saw the same as far as a lead shaking into it. A South Carolina fan has the boo-hoo. How did he know how to pick sides? I don't know. They both have South Carolina. Less than 10, Bree Jones gets the touch going at Natasha Howard.
Travel.
Good offense, even better defense right there by Natasha Howard.
It's travel, anyways.
Defensive player of the year. That's a big part of why she's also back in Indiana, her second stint. Team that actually drafted her. Hits the back door. The tip pass. Excellent. Just after the communication, that will be the 13th turnover for Indiana. And that was excellent.
That crying motion was racial.
They were covered on the screen. You had them come over and they forced that turnover. It was excellent. They communicated. And again, this was something from game 1 to game 2, their defense that improved dramatically, and we see another improvement in game 3. Ryan Howard has been more aggressive in this quarter. A lot to unpack there. They'll count the bucket for Ryan Howard. We'll see where the foul is, and it looks like it's going to stay with Atlanta. Bree Jones and Lexi Hall got caught up underneath. Bree Jones has a little bit of a smile as we look at the replay. But right here, Howard does a good job of stopping and popping. Sees that she's got space from Aaliyah Boston. And right here, you can see Lexi Hall try to box out Bree Jones. And I can tell you, Lexi, you're not about to win that battle. Could you see that? I could see that. I'm looking at my patience for Lexi. Nonetheless, that's a 4th foul on Lexi Hall. So 5th foul, rather, on Lexi Hall.
Turner hasn't played.
So this could be a quick swing as Ryan Howard was able to knock down the 2. And you can see it from this angle. Chelsea Mitchell. 1 and done. 1 and done. If you're Atlanta, you finally get the lead back. You're up by 1. You're on your home floor. Make sure it's 1 and done. Intentional on the defensive and offensive ends. Taking smart shots. Gray pulls up. Gets the contact. So can build on this regained lead for Atlanta. With 5:02 left in the fourth, it doesn't get tighter than this time. And the last game was super tight, just like this one. It came down to crunch time. And this is what it's looked like for the Atlanta Dream. We're in the game.
I don't understand this.
Washington to kickstart the season.
Why doesn't the team want to run?
Well, it's clutch free throws of the game.
It's not like they're getting stops. They only got 64 points.
People trust when times get tough. And going back to their second game against Indiana, it was a very close game. It actually came down to see if Natasha Howard was going to knock down the game-winning bucket, but that was blocked by Mia Coffey. So here we are again, another tight game in Atlanta, getting another test. The kick out, Natasha Howard had all the time, gets her own miss, fakes it outside. 23 points and 6 rebounds for Natasha Howard. Tough break right there for the Dream because they all boxed out the long shots, long rebounds. The foul from Natasha Howard, Bree Jones. It's that pace. So just not waiting for them to set up. That's a different look that we're seeing from Atlanta in this season. And it's been intentional. James misses, you want to push the ball. Carl Smesco being intentional about pushing the pace for this team because they know if you allow the defense to set up, you don't have as much of a shot at making the basket. But if you're 5-on-4 or 5-on-3, you've got.
What happened to Rob?
Your favorite, Bree Jones misses a clutch free throw of her own. Missed the last free throw as well. Atlanta was shooting 93% from the free throw line before their last 3 attempts. And he gets that one to fall.
No, I never send him an invite, maybe.
On the other side, Indiana, they've only shot 4 free throws. They've been 50% on the night. Kelsey lines it up. Tough night for her outside. 0 for 5. I think I've seen 3 out of the 4. Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston all just frustrated in this game with their shots. On the other side, they're saying, baby, make it rain. Another triple for Ryan. Ryan Howard said, I ain't done yet. She remembers that sweep from last season as Lexi Goldberg won. The defense went under the screen, and Hole said, that's too much space for me. Oh, you gotta love it. And Ryan Howard coming back, trying to get the pace. Another bucket for Ryan Howard. This is what the people came to see. She said she can't guard me. She's talking trash to her own teammate, Tahita Powell. Saying the defense can't guard her, and this is the Ryan Howard we love to see. I talked about the intentionality going to the rim. It's almost as if she heard me and auto-corrected in this game. Back-to-back 20-point games for Ryan Howard, sitting at 23 in the foul by Brittany Griner. That's another foul-out situation for BG. Yeah, we were wondering when she would come back in the game, comes back in and immediately picks up that 6th foul. And it's smart by Indiana, it's smart by Natasha Howard to realize that I need to go at a person who has 5 fouls, and BG just gets her. Inadvertently, you see that left elbow go into the throat of Howard and changes the direction of her shot. And when BG goes back and looks at the film, she's going to know that some of these were the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today. And she wants to avoid. Natasha Howard battle-tested throughout her entire career. 3-time WNBA champ with Seattle and then with Minnesota as well. Her 11th season at Florida State, stepping up to the free throw line. To make this a 1-point game and can't.
She's got hit free throws, but
again, Ryan Howard trying to find something against Hall. The dish off the fingertips of Bree Jones. 10 seconds on the shot clock, Dad. What a response by Howard, though, Natasha Howard. She had 6 points on Tuesday. As I reached over to you and shocked you just a little bit. It's okay. I was looking at the box score, but she had 6 points on Tuesday. She's sitting at 24, literally 6 times 4 is 24, so she's caught up over scoring. Here comes that Georgia Tech now. There it is. Yellow jacket all the way. Rick Jones can't connect on the putback. Beaver can take the lead with a 3 or tie. And Caitlin Clark draws the foul. Gray is a little bit taken back by that shot, and unfortunately Atlanta used their challenge and lost it in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark creates the space with that arm, and she just leans in to Alicia Gray. You can't get that close to a shooter. Just smart by Clark to bait her into it. Clark is 0 for 4 from outside tonight. She needs a free throw. This is her first trip to the free throw line. She has 2 more on the way. Missing the second. Shooting 80% from the free throw line coming into this game. And ties it at 71. I just want to give a shout out to the Atlanta fans. I know our fan base gets some flack for not being true homers. And last year we had more CC fans in this building, but just now when she was
She's got 9 points.
More boos for more games when she missed the free throw. It's those fans you're talking about out of their seats.
10 points actually.
Takes the jumbotron for that rebound. Alicia Gray tried to put on the Jets, met by Clark. Also 0 for 5 from 3 in this game. And draws the foul. Caitlin Clark now with 5 fouls.
Is that really a foul?
She kind of pointed at her chest and said, "My bad." But Alicia Gray has gotten herself going. Nia Coffey misses that one. Gray is right there, 6 foot as a guard, and she gets that one to go over Lexi Hall. And then again with the spin move, drawing the 5th foul on Caitlin Clark. Just a good job knowing time and score situations, knowing personnel and who has fouls on the floor. Alicia Gray has been in double figures in every game to start this season, and now she does it again. She has 10 core players are in double figures for Atlanta. 4 of the 5 starters. And Gray also struggling at the 3-point line as well. She's 0 for 3, but all 11 of her points have been very broadly worked for. Alicia Gray with 9 points in the 4th quarter. The switch has been flipped. 4-point game. Kelsey Mitchell setting up, guarded by Gray. Trying to go in the paint, denied by Nia Coffey. Off the mark. Nia Coffey trying to tie it up and does. Excellent defense. How big has Nia Coffey been in back-to-back games for Coach Smesco? She's been huge. This is what he loves about her. He loves her offense, but he also loves her defense more importantly. She gets the block on the first shot attempt, and then it looks like Howard or Boston is supposed to get that offensive rebound. She gets in there and ties it up, causing the jump ball. Big jump ball here. As of note, Atlanta up 4. Also in the bonus. Finds the hands of Natasha Howard. Puts that one in. And that took a circus reel. Good job by B. Jones not fouling. I didn't think Howard had a chance at that one, but my goodness, how did she get that to go? Natasha Howard, 26 points. Could end this with 30 if she wanted. Ryan Howard held up by Lexi Hall, Athletes Unlimited Defensive Player of the Year at 1 point. 4 on the shot clock. Nia Coffey left alone, high arcing, and can't connect on the 3. Great defense by the Fever. Brian and Alicia Gray are having a conversation where Howard saying, listen, whip the ball around, ball movements. Thought that the ball was too stagnant on that one because they didn't allow the defense or didn't get the defense to break down. Carl Smesco preaching that on the offensive end. You got to move that ball around to get them out of position. With under 2 minutes to play, Brittany Griner has fouled out for Atlanta. Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hall have 5 of their own. Big stop for Atlanta here. Kelsey lines it up. Oh! What a time to come alive and hit your
At least she didn't hit her foot back in the line.
13 points for Kelsey Mitchell. Ryan Howard trying to return the favor, nothing there. We're under or approaching the 1 minute mark, and Caitlin Clark will take her time. A quick tap out for Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard has now 4 fouls. Pretty obvious foul there from Howard as well.
I don't know. Ryan Howard's complaining about that. It was obviously there's a foul.
So both teams in the bonus as Caitlin Clark misses.
Oh my God, Clark can't hit free throws like she used to.
It is a 2-point game, and there will be a timeout for Atlanta. Under a minute to play. Hold on to your seats.
She shot 91% last year.
Things were already so difficult for my mom when she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Then she developed agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. She started verbally lashing out, some things, wandering at night. These symptoms were a different kind of difficult. So we asked her doctor for more help.
Rexulti is the only FDA-approved medication proven to reduce symptoms of agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Elderly people with dementia-related psychosis have increased risk of death or stroke. Report fever, stiff muscles, and confusion.
I don't know what to say.
Or people with muscle movements which may be permanent.
Can't lose another close game. You ain't gonna have a bad seeding. You want to get a home field court advantage at the end of the year for whatever place you get in.
I'm glad I asked for help.
Ask your loved one's doctor today about Rexulti. Moments matter.
I thought without Christy Sides as the coach, you could win close games. Yeah, I mean,
Of course, it's a close game between Indiana and Atlanta. Less than a minute to play in this ball game.
6 for 11.
By Indiana. Both teams in the bonus. 1 timeout left for Atlanta, 2 for Indiana. Brittany Griner has fouled out for the Dream, and Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull with 5. I smell the makings of a rivalry between these two teams.
6 for 11 free throws. That's awful. Rob would go crazy.
I think we have a making of a season across the board that is going to be so much fun in the WNBA. So many different storylines. Can New York go back to back? Right now they're playing against Chicago. They have that game handily. They're putting 68-46. You mentioned the new faces in the WNBA. 8 new head coaches. And then faces that we're used to seeing on certain teams that have kind of switched. So a foul, they wanted the travel call in the bonus go that stops the clock and sends Ryan Howard to the free throw line for 2. Ryan Howard gets the ball just double covered right here. They know they want to get the ball into, and yes, that is absolutely a foul. Natasha Howard gets her across the arm. And remember, Howard iced the game with those 2 free throws last game on Thursday. So they'll have to change some things underneath, and they do. At first, they gave the foul to Aaliyah Boston, who was nowhere near the action. So Natasha Howard will get her 4th foul. Aaliyah Boston with 4. Caitlin Clark out of the game with 5. See more of that offense defense from Caitlin Clark, but Ryan Howard can tie it up. Back iron. And finds the hands of Natasha Howard, who calls the timeout. And listen, if I'm Atlanta and you get another shot at it going down the offensive end, who did you say had 5 fouls? Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull. I'm going at both of them to try to get them out of this game. So we've seen more of the offense defense from them, though, to prevent that from happening, and they can, especially Caitlin Clark, who just checks into the ball game.
I feel like Steph White is going to try and protect her a little bit. If this does go into overtime, she'll beat her. I'm still going at them from Atlanta, though. I'm searching for that. One of them's going to be, if you have Cole and Clark out there, I'm going at one of the two. Yes. There's one timeout for both sides. Ryan Howard missing the free throw. Her first miss from the charity stripe tonight. Atlanta was once shooting 73% from the free throw line. They are now 78%, 18 for 23. One thing that stood out to me, Angela, in this game and the last game is the Fever winning the paint points. Right now, they've got 44 points in the paint compared to 20 for Atlanta. So that, to me, tells me that they've been more intentional getting into the paint. And not settling to your point, because it has not been their night from outside, where they're just 30% from distance. And it took some time to get there, because in the second half, they started to drop a few in. Kelsey Mitchell just knocked hers down a few minutes ago. Caitlin Clark is going to be blocking the floor, but I'll tell you this. If Indiana comes out with this game, those scores won't matter. It won't matter that she won the 5. I'm pretty sure she just wants to win. They don't need to foul here. They have plenty of time to see if it runs out on the defensive end. Atlanta needs to stop.
Where's the pick and roll with Boston that they did so well last game?
Not hit a 3 in this game. Stops on the dime, looking to pull up. Finally, a Boston who gets the bucket to go. Still a one-possession game. Atlanta almost gave that one up. Nia Coffey got back in just in time. Atlanta has time. They can go for a quick 2. You see what they elect to do is another big foul going against Atlanta. Ryan Howard pushes off Sophie Cunningham with a huge defensive stop for the Indiana Fever. Sophie Cunningham came into this game questionable in this one, and right here she draws the offensive foul on Ryan Howard. And it was a little bit of an acting job, I'm not going to lie. That was a lot. But you know what? A smart job by Cunningham to try to draw that foul. Ryan Howard now has 5 fouls, and you do have to foul here because the shot clock is off.
Smart to get the ball in Kelsey Mitchell's hand as a good free throw shooter.
Nia Coffey has 1. Caldwell and Gilman on the floor for Atlanta have not fouled in this ballgame. He starts to wonder who he's been at the free throw line. Kelsey Mitchell making her second trip to the free throw line tonight. She split the pair before. She is disappointed in the missed free throws from Tuesday. Said we understand how much work we put in.
God, more missed free throws.
She also talked about having those super low lulls. She talked about giving themselves grace for teamwork. She said that we're going to have some low points, but they can't be that low and that flat. Just talking about the start that they had to both halves. And they kind of started the same in this game, but they dug themselves out quickly. Tanina Pow checks in for Atlanta, so you know, as they call their final reset or the reset timeout for Atlanta. So they'll have a couple.
Gotta hit your free throws. That's.
Tanina Pow checks in. We'll have Sydney Colson take a seat. Let's see Lowell in the game. A lot can happen in 21 seconds. But the Dream definitely need a quick score here. Who do they go to? Gray gets it up top. Sophie Cunningham swipes in for the rebound, and Atlanta just letting her go all the way up the floor. There was 11 seconds left on the game clock. But Sophie Cunningham got the ball, and there was confusion for Atlanta if they should foul or not. Yeah.
Well, obviously you got to foul. Anytime there's less than 24 seconds, you got to foul. Once you don't get the rebound, you got to foul unless you can trap right away. I mean, that's Atlanta screwed up.
Atlanta led by 9, Indiana led by 8. It went back and forth in this ball game. They both split.
Whatever you do, don't foul. Just let him throw the ball up. My God, another missed free throw. They said that was her last time out.
Really took your hat to Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham was huge for them off the bench in her first game back this season. We'll take a look at the national TV schedule. We have a doubleheader tomorrow starting with the Sun and
God, what are they for free throws? This is ridiculous. 8 for 15. Rob will be throwing his clipboard.
For more of these games, please go to the WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. We talk about Cunningham, and she's been phenomenal for Indiana, but it's also Lexi Holt for me. You've had Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, and even at times in the first I catch you.
This is all Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hall.
You mentioned the bench production. They just came in and held it down, and they didn't get rattled or frazzled. They said they wanted redemption this game, and they've done just that. Still 5.5 seconds left. I've seen a lot of crazy things happen if you're Atlanta, so you don't want to give up. You want to finish this game the right way.
Just play tough defense and don't foul. Don't foul. Keep the clock moving.
Wait until the buzzer sounds. Ryan Howard looking for someone on the inbounds. Finds Gray. Gray is short on the three, and Kelsey Mitchell comes out of the pack with the rock as the clock hits 0, and the get back has been completed for the Indiana Fever. That have currently split with Atlanta. Atlanta and Indiana will see each other 2 more times.
Natasha Howard of the Blondes.
Atlanta will drop to 1 and 2, and Indiana will move on.
I wonder if Caitlin wasn't feeling well. She doesn't seem to have much energy.
Coaches cleaned up some things that they wanted to clean up.
I don't know what to say. That was an ugly win and an ugly loss on Tuesday. Well, at least they didn't lose 2 close games. They could have easily lost this game.
And we hope to see you there. For Tabitha Turner, Autumn Johnson, our producer Glenn Diamond, director Ryan Bowles, and our entire crew. My name's Grace, saying so long from State Farm Arena. And a reminder to pay some respect to women's sports. It's been a fun one. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Ooh, buttermilk glaze. Soft, low glaze skin.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. All I can say is a win is a win. It's all about all I can say. Caitlin Clark did not look good. I don't think she was feeling well for some reason. But that wasn't really the issue. Is why aren't they playing up-tempo basketball? Well, that's
idolizing him. His teammates say that he's that guy every day. Win or lose.
Well, Lisa, the league is in wonderful hands when he's one of the stars leading. It's a pop character. Edwards goes high and backs it into the left hand. What a quick shot from Edwards. Alexander back out home.
I'm confused. I'm watching the basketball game on, the other basketball game on now. It's only 50 seconds left in the half. All right, Bobby, I agree with you. Bonner seems to be a waste of $200,000. She did get 8 rebounds, so you can't say she's useless, but she can't score anymore. Her free throw shooting sucks. The defense was better. Howard played well. Even just not only 26 points, she also had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. But Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall, and Natasha Howard. Boston, I don't know. She was sleepwalking too. Why wasn't Clark and Boston doing their pick and roll that they did so well the last 2 games? I agree it's a whole new team. I just don't understand why they're not playing up-tempo basketball like she promised. I will admit that Clark didn't look – she looked lethargic, like she was sick or something.
That's a big swing in a game like this. The key on these plays, these drives, and this is the ones that people were complaining about, was
I don't know, but why didn't Clark and Boston do their pick and roll? And that was looked so good in some of the other games. Why didn't they play up-tempo basketball?
His hands on his body. Right now, at this point in time, Shea's allowed to grab the ball and collect himself. It's the ones where he just hits the ball in his body and collapses that he struggle with. And he's hitting the path too. Well, Alexander, another one. This match is the largest lead.
I don't know. It's to split with Atlanta. It's probably not the worst thing in the world. I have a feeling Atlanta's going to be a good team this year. They certainly have a nice starting lineup. So, anyways, yeah, I'm worn out, Rebecca. I don't know what was going on. So, see you guys Saturday. Saturday at, let me just see what time. Is it at 1? Is it 1 or 3?
The NBA Western Conference Finals presented by AT&T. Brought to you by Google.
Okay, 1 on CBS.
NBA and Marvel Studios, The Fantastic Four First Steps. Only in theaters July 25th.
Everyone has an off night. All right. See you Saturday at 1. I'm going to go. I'm going to watch the game. Yes, the pace of the game is terrible, though, so trade White for the Russian. Okay, we could. All right, see you later, everyone. 1 o'clock on Saturday. We'll see you guys. Take care. We'll go over. What happened to Rob? Okay.